Imagine you are on a hike in the woods, taken by their immense beauty. This change from your city life makes you feel calm, energized, and you reflect what great idea this was and make promises to do it more often. But then you start to feel that something is a bit strange. You can't say what exactly, but things seem a bit off. You don't see anyone, but you feel watched. You don't hear anything strange, but the sounds aren't quite right. Maybe then you start thinking about the legends you've heard before, about mysterious creatures that lurk in the shadows, monsters that eat human flesh, creatures that were once human but transformed to something else. And as you do, a name might pop into your head: Windigo. But this is just a tale that couldn't possibly be real, right? Well, we've done the research and the results weren't as clear-cut as you might think. We believe there might be just enough evidence to suggest that the Windigo might be real. And by the end of this video, so will you. During the bitter winters, when hunger gnawed at the belly and the cold seeped into the marrow of the bones, the fearsome Windigo emerged from the oral traditions of the Algonquian-speaking tribes such as the Ojibwe, Saulteaux, Cree, Naskapi, and Innu. This creature was not merely a figment of the imagination, but embodied the deepest, most primal fears of these people: the dread of insatiable hunger and the relentless, piercing cold. The Windigo, or Windigo in the Anishinaabe language, represents a chilling metamorphosis, a profound transformation born out of desperation and avarice. In the stories passed down, the Windigo was described in terrifying detail. Picture a creature incredibly tall and thin, its skin pale and stretched tightly over its bones, like a skeleton covered in just a thin layer of skin. It was so tall that it seemed to blend into the trees with long, thin arms and fingers that ended in sharp claws. Its eyes were deep, dark holes, glowing with a frightening hunger that couldn't be filled. It had a wide mouth with sharp, uneven teeth, always open as if it was ready to devour anything in its path. And atop its head were twisted antlers, reaching up to the sky, making it look even more like it was part of the forest. This was the Windigo, a creature from the cold, lonely places of the world, where the line between human and monster could fade away. Tribal narratives caution that should an individual succumb to selfishness or the overwhelming trials of life, particularly during times of famine or in the face of the taboo act of cannibalism, they risk awakening the Windigo within. This transformation was a gradual but inevitable descent into a frigid and ravenous state of being. The individual's heart would turn to ice, their capacity for empathy and compassion would wither, and a voracious greed would take root. This relentless desire was all-consuming, driving them to see fellow humans not as kin or community, but as means to satiate an eternal hunger. The Windigo's tale serves as a powerful moral compass for the tribes, a grim reminder and warning of the perils of losing one's humanity to the shadows of greed and despair. It is a narrative that weaves together the harsh environmental realities these tribes faced and the spiritual teachings that cautioned against the consuming nature of gluttony and excess. Thus, the Windigo is more than a mere monster from a bygone era. It is a complex symbol, representing the interplay between environment, culture, and spirituality, a haunting legacy that continues to captivate the imagination and impart lessons that resonate across generations. But might there be actual events that inspired the legend? Is it possible that the myth originated from true occurrences? We think so because of two phenomena that might inflict the most vulnerable: Windigo psychosis and the Kuru disease. Let's dive into Windigo psychosis, a condition that's got the attention of many scientists and doctors. It's not just folklore, it's an actual psychological subject that helps us understand human behavior under extreme stress and how our upbringing can shape our thoughts. Historically, Windigo psychosis referred to a disturbing craving for human flesh even when other food was available. This concept emerged from the interpretations of Native American experiences and the observations made by early explorers about their deepest fears. Today, there's debate about whether Windigo psychosis is a genuine mental disorder or merely a tale. Some medical professionals consider it a legitimate, albeit rare, mental condition influenced by our lifestyle, surroundings, and psychological factors that lead to astonishing behaviors. It's at the intersection of anthropology, psychology, and folklore, challenging us to consider how our beliefs and environments can profoundly impact our actions, sometimes in extraordinary or tragic ways. Discussing the effects of human cannibalism, as mentioned in Windigo lore, is quite unsettling. It's a grave societal taboo and poses serious health risks. The disease Kuru, witnessed among certain groups in Papua New Guinea, was linked to cannibalism. It's a neurological condition that causes trembling, loss of bodily function, and disturbing laughter, which mirrors the eerie characteristics of the Wendigo. Those affected by Kuru eventually exhibit changes that resemble the transformation into a Wendigo: sallow, sagging skin, fragile teeth, and a gradual mental decline, leading to an inability to move properly and, ultimately, death. Kuru is triggered by an infectious protein that corrupts other proteins. Its ability to remain dormant before symptoms appear is as chilling as the deceitful nature of the Windigo curse. In concluding our journey into the eerie legend of the Windigo, it's clear that the line between myth and reality is finer than we might think. The parallels between the Windigo's transformation and the actual conditions of Windigo psychosis and Kuru suggest that such a creature could be more than just a figment of imagination. Perhaps the Windigo, as a symbol of hunger and excess, is a real warning from history, a cautionary tale that reminds us that the monsters of legend may have roots in the very real experiences of our ancestors. And perhaps the next time you go into the woods, you will not be alone. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to find more documentary-style videos like this one.